My domain lesson today is on facilitating learning. I selected that partially because when I did my classroom observation, I was really in awe of Tony Patuco, who is one of our professors here at U of Phoenix, and he was teaching a class in critical thinking. Even though he didn't use a lot of the activities that we have learned about in our class, he just had this great way of bringing across excitement and enthusiasm for that area, which, sitting in a philosophy class is not something that you generally think of as being exciting. Anyway, so that's why I chose facilitating learning, because he's a master facilitator. So without any further ado, I'm going to see if I can get my PowerPoint to operate. I should be able to show you the PowerPoint slides on here, and but it's a little complicated, so bear with me if I make a mistake. Alright, I seem to have found the first slide. Indeed, we're talking about facilitating learning. I subheaded my lesson today, addressing the needs of students with diverse learning styles. And just to tie it to the material shade, I have a quotation from our facilitation manual that I think is appropriate. It says, instructors are expected to serve as facilitators of learning who manage the learning process by engaging learners in a variety of activities, lectures being but one. And the activities lead students to an understanding of course content and the development of academic and professional competence. And we've been talking in faculty certification about academic and professional competence in ourselves as facilitators. So, I just thought that was a particularly good quote for today. So, moving on, what our objectives are today is we'll be identifying one or two of your relative strengths in the area of facilitating learning. We'll be thinking about or assessing what effect those strengths or what your preferred style might have on the students in your class whose styles might be different from your own. And then we're going to see if you can integrate that information and utilize that knowledge about your learning styles and your students' learning styles to direct your ongoing development as a facilitator. So, candidates, get out your pencils. Thank you, Che, for reminding me that we can do things quickly without overthinking, and so that's what I'm going to ask you to do, is answer these questions today quickly without overthinking. Here's your first one. The learning activities that we reviewed in class and the ones that are described in the facilitation manual, or other learning activities that you may have heard about or that you have in your repertoire, which ones do you prefer the most? Which ones are you most comfortable with? So I'm going to have you on your piece of paper list at least 3 of them. And Che, let's pause the thing here and let them have maybe 2 minutes to do that. Okay, I'm back. Alright, now, next part. Okay, so you should have some learning activities listed on your piece of paper. Look at each one of them. And thinking back over the material that we looked at in class, just the way of thinking about different activities is appealing more to people who are heart people, or head people, or heart people, or belly people. See if you can assign each one of those activities to as being a more head, belly, or heart activity. And also note which of the multiple intelligences each of those activities seems to appeal to most. So And I put in the slide here some reminders just so that you won't leave out any of those multiple intelligences. They're listed here for you: bodily, kinesthetic, interpersonal, verbal, linguistic, logical, mathematical, interpersonal, visual, spatial, musical, or naturalistic. So again, we're going to give you, say, I don't know, 2 minutes for that, Che. I think that might ought to work. Okay, we're back. Okay, your next task is to take your paper and quickly swap your paper with one of your other fellow candidates. Okay, that should take you just like a half a second. Okay, you should not have your own paper anymore. You should have a paper that was given to you by one of your other classmates. So looking over that paper, and the answers that your partner put on it, see if you can gather some information and make an educated guess about what type of learner your partner might be. So you may be getting that information by looking at what kinds of learning activities they prefer. You might be getting that information by the labels that they assign to those activities: heart, belly, head, which ones of the multiple intelligences those activities appeal to most. You can also bring in information that you have based on what you've observed about your classmates as you speaking with them, or as you've observed them maybe doing their own teaching piece. Or you may be bringing information that you have about nurses being heart people, or mathematicians being logical, mathematical people. So your task is to form your guess about what kind of learner your partner is, and then take turns sharing your guess with that partner and tell him or her why you think that's the case. So we're going to take about 2 minutes each to do that, so that'll be a total of 4 minutes, Che. Okay, we're back. Now, tell your partner one or more ways that your own learning style might influence your ability to teach to the strengths of students whose styles are different from your own. And again, we're going to do exchanges on this, so take about 2 minutes each. We're going to pause again here, Shay. Okay, we're back. All right, now put your thinking caps on and see what conclusions you might be able to draw from this exercise. This has really been an experiment. It's based on a hypothesis that I have, that we choose activities that we're comfortable with because they resonate with what kind of a learner we are, or which ones of the multiple intelligences are our strong points. So I actually have a hypothesis about that, and I'm going to tell you what it is. Whoops, that's not what it is. Let me see if I can find it for you. There it is. Here's my theory. My theory is that our favorite learning activities are closely related to our preferred learning style, and that because of that, it might really be necessary for us as professionals to kind of work outside of our comfort zone and challenge ourselves to broaden our learning repertoire to absolutely assure that we're meeting the needs of every student. Write to me in the OLS and let me know what you think. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.